Sometimes it feels like I see people do literally 50 times more than I do. But I've had those phases too, where I've done 50 times more than I regularly do. I want to talk about the power of routine and systems and how they can actually get you to do 50 times more. I'm just going to explain two key things. Firstly, routine and habit and why that gets you to do so much more. And secondly, how you can create more focus and how you can actually speed yourself up another 50 to 80%. It's ironic because a lot of this stuff is really counterintuitive. At least I found it counterintuitive, but I'm going to get straight into it. The first thing is about habit and routine. The reason why habit and routine make you more productive is because habits reduce the amount of thinking that you need to do. And so you can actually do more things because you have to do less thinking. You can go to the gym and eat all your macros right and play piano, then do your work or whatever. You can do these things when you have them as a habit because your brain doesn't even need to think about, oh, when am I going to go to the gym? What am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to wear today? These things all increase your cognitive load. And so by the time you get around to your work, you've already thought about so much stuff. It's like your brain was already being muddled. I think some people might disagree with me here, but if you really go and live this and basically create a routine where you don't have to think about half the stuff that you do, it's just moving you toward your goals, man, you're going to see how powerful this routine stuff is. Routine comes from environment. So if you're wondering how to create a better routine, it's about shaping your environment to fit the habits that you want. So if you want to eat a smoothie every morning, for example, that's something that I do because it makes my life very easy. I have my ingredients in different jars and I have my smoothie thing ready to go every single morning. And so it takes me 5 minutes and I can make the whole thing. The macros are the same and it helps me get in my protein intake, my calories and things like that. And so I don't have to think about it. I just get it done and it moves me toward my goal way faster. Whereas before I had this, I was thinking about what am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to have for lunch? And half the times it didn't hit my goals because I was too preoccupied thinking about my work. And so I didn't have the mental headspace for the macros and the smoothies and whatever else. It makes it a lot easier when you don't have to think about stuff. That is the power of routine. Environment lets you shape a more powerful routine as well. Because when your environment is the same every single day, you don't have to put in an effort to remember to do that thing. That really is something that's really important here, but your environment is one of the most important things. If you don't have access to a smoothie maker or whatever, it's going to be really hard to make that part of your routine because every time you change environment, it's going to be impossible to make that smoothie. The other thing that's really powerful towards systems of focus is having fewer things to do. The times I've been most productive are when I have one clear goal for the day and I just do that thing. And then I get really, really good at just doing 1 to 2 things a day that just move the needle forward. These are the most important things to do. And it's really powerful when you just have one thing on your mind. This might seem counterintuitive because, how can you do more when you're doing fewer tasks per day? You just have so much less to think about that you can push the needle on that task so much more. It can be hard to do this, bear in mind. So it's not necessarily easy, but when you just have one key thing that's going to push the needle forward and you just execute on that and you execute well, man, it's really powerful because then you basically start to be able to execute one thing at a time. You get consistent with it and you'd be surprised how many things need proper hours of work, and people really underestimate how long things take. I know I do. And so if you just leave one thing to do per day, you're never going to rush to the next thing. You're never going to be running out of time. You just do one thing, do it really well. And then after that, reply to people, do whatever, little small errands that you have to do. This mentality, I think, is something that I've started adopting recently, and I've really enjoyed the results of that. So these two systems of focus and habit takes you to just 50 times more productivity. It's been really great for me. So I've been enjoying that.